come a story time. And this story time takes place at my local gym, but ends at Walmart. So I see this guy who's always in the gym, and I mean, like, every time I'm there, he's there. So when I'm in the morning times, he at the gym. If I go to the locker room to take a shower, he's in the damn locker room. In the sauna, he's in the sauna. He's in the steam room. I mean, I can't escape this guy. I see him all the time. So on a particular day, he asked me, like, what time do you normally work out? And I'm like, I'm an early morning guy more than anything. He's like, oh yeah, me too. And he said, I see you all the time in the gym. It look like you have toned up a lot. Now, I take that as a compliment because oftentimes people can see, they can see your body changing before you see it changing. So, but by the look of him, it looks like he's staying in the gym. Now, I didn't think nothing of this conversation. We dab it up. I leave. Well, I come back the next morning about 6 a.m. He's there. And I'm like, well, dang, this man is at the gym early this morning. So he speaks to me, and he finally introduced himself and give me his name. Now, I'm down for that. I'm down for making gym friends. And he was like, we should work out sometime. Now, I already got a workout partner. And I don't know if my workout partner want a second workout partner. So I was like, maybe we can find some time to work out together. Well, he was like, well, here's my phone number. If you want to call me sometime, we can schedule a time. I'm down for it. Now, by the looks of this man is not bad looking at all. This man look like he got some coins. Later to find out, he is one of our local physicians here in my city. And I was just like, whoa. However, I wanted to be sure because I know how the DL boys are out here in the streets. I was like, there are DLs on all type of levels. So I said, let me make sure. So we end up working out together on days that my partner wasn't able to come to the gym. And good workout partner. He's got great body. He understands fitness very well. The guy is a good workout partner, and he's a good conversation piece. So as time progressed, we end up having dinner at one of our local nice little restaurants. And of course, sure enough, this guy treats me. I don't pay for anything. I don't even pick myself up, child. He come picks me up. Now, in our conversation, I learned a little about him, that he was a physician, which I knew that already. And it was just such a smooth date, a dinner. Let's say it's a smooth dinner. So he drives me back home, gives me a hug, and he gives me a bottle of wine that he had for me that he had saved in his trunk. So I thought that was very nice of him. Now, we go on a couple more dates together, and things are kind of pleasant, and I'd say we probably went on like 4 or 5 more dates. It was, it was pleasant. Very, 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 very pleasant. So I ended up going over to his house to hang out with him. And of course, we do the adults things that you do. Great sex. Sex is great. Is probably top 2. It was really good. And I leave. I go home. He texts me. We conversate back and forth on text messages, kind of talking about, the sex. The sex was really good. And I go to the gym the next morning. He's there, and my workout partner wasn't there. So we end up working out together. Great workout. We end up going into, inside of the locker room and, getting it on again. And it was spontaneous, and I thought it was kind of spicy, and I liked it a lot. So sure enough, he asked me to go to a Christmas party with him. And this was last year. He asked me to go to a Christmas party with him. And I go to the Christmas party, meet some of his friends, some people he didn't know. And it was cool. It was really, really chill and cool and laid back. So one of his friends was, kind of just trying to pick me out, trying to figure out who the fuck I was. So this particular girl is asking me, like, where you from, and what do you do for a living, and how did you guys meet? And I wanted to say, none of your damn business. However, I was very cordial and just kind of went on with the flow and answered the questions in the most polite way, because I am classy. So, however, I make it through that. We go back to the hotel, we chit chat, but well, actually prior to going to the hotel, we go to the lobby of the hotel and have a couple glasses of wine just to talk. The guy's a talker, I'm a talker. I love conversation, and he's a good conversation piece. We sit there and we talk and we just enjoy the night. We look at all the Christmas trees inside this beautiful hotel, and we end up going up to the room, and of course we do the adults thing, and of course the sex is just always A1. Now this goes on for at least good damn 6-7 months. I've been to his house a couple times. He's been to my place. We've just done the nasty everywhere. Well, just today. Now this is a year and shit, probably a month now. No, yes, a year and some months. We almost come up to Christmas again. I'm at my local Walmart, and I'm buying some things to make lunch, or make some lunch for leftover for dinner. And I run into him with his wife. Child, y'all are pushy, but I'm okay. I get it, because I'm pushy too when it's good. So listen, I know it took me a while to come back to do part 2, but I had to collect some data because this just happened to you, boy. It literally happened while I was at one. Oh, God, I got spaghettis on my chin. I had to cook. But so this is part 2 of the story that my doctor is DL. So, you know, like in part 1, I'm in the store and I'm buying all the ingredients I need to make spaghettis and that, because I was like, I'm going to have an easy night. Make spaghetti. I run into him. I literally run into this guy and I speak. I go, hey. And this guy gives me absolutely nothing. He saves absolutely nothing. And I'm like, well, who's the lady with him? It's a lady with two little kids. They're 2 small kids and they're together. And you can tell that this is a couple. This is not like his sister or a friend. This is his wife. And this is why he's not responding to me, because he's with his wife. So I get my things, I go through the line, I pay for my things, I get in my car, and that's when I record the first video. So sure enough, like 30 minutes later, I get a phone call from him. I am not answering your phone call. I need you to text me, because I need to text me. So he did. He was texting me. I'm going to put the text on the screen so you can see it. He texted me some shit like, he can explain. I know how this looks, but I can explain. I'm like, there is nothing that you can explain to me that will justify your bad behavior. There is nothing. What you can do is you can explain to your wife why you're being deceitful with 2 people. Because I made it very clear in our conversation. And my question to him is, are you in a relationship? And because of my previous experiences, I've learned to ask, are you married to a woman or a man? And he made it very clear to me that neither. He was not married. He was not in a relationship. He had no kids. And all of that was a lie. So he goes through this whole message and it calls me and calls me and calls me. Literally today, I have not answered, but he texts me. So I'm going to share with you the text messages. So you're going to have to walk this journey with me slowly, because I know it is not over. We are going to be discussing this until it is final. Now, let me tell you what my decision is going to be. Ultimately, there is no connection with us. This guy and I go to the same gym together, right? I see him at our local grocery stores. I started going to him as, you know, inside the office that he was working in. I was using another physician as my doctor. So I'm changing all that. Maybe not, I don't know. But I don't want to be in proximity of this guy, because you're deceitful. Every time I see you, it's going to urge me to tell your secret. And I'm not that guy.
I'm not that guy to do that. I'm not that guy. I'm too mature to be able to tell somebody else's truth. You tell your own truth, but you're not going to damage me while you're dealing with your shit. And he left me a voicemail saying something like, I know you do TikToks about DL people. If you don't mind, please don't post me. Oh, I'm not going to post your face. I might not say your name, but this story is definitely going to be told. It's definitely going to be told. This is crazy. This is crazy. So I say this to you guys. This is not over with. So I'm going to do these parts as it happened, right? This guy is trash. He is ultimately trash. So don't think because your husband is a doctor or a lawyer or anything that will consider to be high-paying jobs that they cannot be DL. Don't fool yourself, sisters. These guys are damaging us as guys, and they're damaging you as a female. So don't let these jobs and these titles fool you. They want to live a life that they can have pleasure on both sides. And they don't care who they hurt. They just want pleasure. But guess what? That's his pain. And that's his wife dealing, not mine.
Good morning. Good morning. As you can tell, I am still in the bed. And I usually get up and go to the gym in the morning. But I just didn't want to run into the guy at the gym. I just didn't want to have to face talking to him and going over this stuff, and just I realized that I think I'm hurt over this. I'm kind of hurt. This is embarrassing to say, but I was really falling for the guy. I feel like we had created some type of connection for him to be honest, and he just let me down on that. But funny thing is, last night I received, oh my God, I received over 36 missed calls from him. And I just couldn't answer those phone calls. And I know one of the guys in the comments said, hey, you should talk to him because this is stressful for him, dealing with his sexuality. And I get it. I understand. And he told me to give him grace. But I think grace has its place. And I think there's a time to offer someone grace. But I also think there's a time where you have to process all of this and allow yourself to navigate or understand what is happening. You know, this literally happened yesterday. So, yes, of course, I will naturally give grace, but grace is just not today. I don't have grace today. But I am giving myself permission to move slowly and process it. I'm giving myself that permission. But, you know, the calling and the texting over and over and over, that just doesn't help the process, right? So what I was going to say is, so this morning when I got up, I noticed my ring cam had went off last night, and I automatically knew who it was. I saw his vehicle sitting inside of in the driveway, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, was this dude really I don't know if he knocked on the door or not, but I didn't hear anything, but I saw his car. And then around the same time on the ring cam, that's the same time he was calling. So I'm sure he was outside trying to call me. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I am sitting on the side of my bed and last night was a little rough. I didn't go to bed until like 3 o'clock this morning and now I'm up. Well, crazy thing about last night was I did my live, which I was really excited about that. We had some great responses from people sharing their own personal experiences. Um I got some crazy messages from him. I the level of disrespect, the level of manipulation is just crazy. This MF messaged me and was like, I'm going to call the police to do a wellness check because I haven't heard from you. Really? You going to abuse the system so you can you almost forcing me to respond to you at this point. The the delusional is crazy. Like literally, he said he was going to call the police to do a wellness check. So here was my thing: you do that, you call the police, right? That gives me an opportunity to let them know the reasons of your call. That gives me the reason. That gives me the opportunity to help yourself expose you. And that's kind of my response is like that, right? And oh yeah, he's also was like, why am I sharing information with people on social media who I don't know? Why am I sharing information with strangers whom I do not know? People are always trying to silence you how you tell your story, right? I've already given him grace by not using his name or showing a picture of him or telling you exactly which doctor office he's a physician at, right? I'm giving you grace not to do that. I'm giving you grace not to tell your wife about, and to be honest, I don't even know how to contact his wife. But I'm giving you grace not to dig into it to figure out who she is. I'm sure it's simple to find out this lady, right? But I'm giving you that grace. All I'm asking you to do is just leave me alone, right? Like, this guy is crazy. So, of course, I have to start my day, take a shower. So this is an update for today about the situation. So him and I talked very briefly this morning, actually, very briefly. So in my mind, I've already kind of figured out a plan that I think will work. I'm kind of going to meet with him, right? And cousins is not what you think. I'm not. It's no trauma bonding. I'm not backstepping to be in a relationship. No, this is over for me. But I think in my mind, logically, if I can let him talk face to face, let it all out, no interruptions, just listen to him. I think once I do that, he'll move on. I think this is a moment that he wants to be heard. Although I don't care to hear anything he has to say, but I'm actually tired of the text messages, the phone calls. I'm over that. So I'm going to grant him this because this could be the process of me trying to heal from this trauma, right? This could be the process. And then once he's done explaining himself and going through the shenanigans, here are the boundaries. Here are the boundaries. This is why I stand with you. Because I don't want to have to be changing my gym. Of course, I'm going to change doctors, but I don't want to change my gym. So I don't want it to be awkward to be around him. Because I don't want to be around him, but I don't want to go to the gym, then I see him. Now it's this awkward thing, right? So
To me, it's beginning to just be not that serious anymore. The biggest thing for me, I hate that his wife is going through this and she doesn't know it, but it is his truth to tell his wife, not mine. I'm going to meet with him, and I'm gonna let him get all out on his chest what he's going to give out. He's going to tell me what he would think in his mind. Listen, and I want to set some boundaries. Listen, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for pouring out your heart to me, but you understand and I understand this could never be. And that's it. Just be solid. And I'm definitely going to tell him, if you continue with the text message and calling and showing up at the house, I will be left with no choice to call the police. And I think that's enough to just let's just move the fuck on, right? We're grown. Move on. Yes, you did what you did. It is what it is. I'm a big boy. I can take care of myself, right? Hello, guys. I just got home. It is very late, and for some of you guys, you might be asleep, but I just got home. But tomorrow is such a crazy day, so I wouldn't have time to record the conversation so I can talk to you. So I'm calling your phone now. If you can pick up, answer me. If not, I'll leave you a voicemail, okay? However, we met today. We did not meet face to face. Initially, that's what I was going to do, but some of you guys gave me some really good advice, and I thought that was very helpful. So we ended up doing a FaceTime conversation. I listened, and I also asked questions. Some of the comments in one of the videos was saying that you don't need closure. You have closure already. And you know what? You're absolutely right. I do have closure, but that fragile emotion side of me felt like I needed more. And also I wanted a way out. And I thought if I let him talk, this will be a way out. So anyway, so the conversation was very, about 30-40 minutes long. He apologized and said that there were times where he wanted to tell me. There are times he wanted to be honest about him having a wife and kids, but he just didn't know how to bring it up. Now, be it I believe that or not, his truth is his truth. At this point, I take whatever you give me. So he talked about the house. I asked about the house. I was under the impression that that's where he lived. So I thought, oh, this man is commuting back and forth from one city to another city, and it's an hour and 30 minutes away. I did personally thought that was kind of crazy. I wouldn't want to do it, but it's not uncommon that people commute back and forth from work from long distance. But reassure, it was a vacation beach house. But I knew that already because he told me that in a text message when I asked him, like the house, like that, how was that possible for me to be at your house and not see these things? And he told me then it was a beach house. He also talked about some of his problems with his wife. He had already iterated that in the conversation. And I already knew that inside of a text message he had sent me earlier about he was having problems with his wife and things that doesn't really concern me. But that's something he did talk about. I asked him about had he ever been in a relationship with another guy before or had any type of intimacy or any sex with another guy. And sure enough, he has done this before. He's been sexually active with another guy. So I'm like, well, what do you label yourself? Like, how do you label yourself? Are you bisexual? Are you gay? What is it? And I don't think he understands that. I personally don't think he understands if he's gay, bi, whatever it is. I think this guy is just living reckless, in my opinion. And because he kind of stalled on that question, like, well, I don't know. So that was that. He apologized about all the text messages, all the call. I think, from how he was expressing to me, I believe he think like, if I call you, you can understand me, right? And at the time, I didn't want to hear that. And now I'm in a space, which is fairly quickly for me, I'm in a space where I kind of want this to move on. I want to just be upset, be mad by myself without no interruption, right? But yeah, he apologized for that, and the conversation went on about just random other things about work and things that really had no concern of mine. But I offer my ears to listen. His friends, you know, I asked him, did they know about his lifestyle? And he said they didn't. And that's not, I didn't think they did either, because they didn't express that. So pretty much the conversation was just that. I kind of set down some boundaries. I said, listen, after today's conversation, I'm going to block your number. You know, we can't be in contact, you know, no friendship. And he agreed. He agreed to that. He said, you know, if that is what makes you feel like you're healthy, as a healthy myself, he said he supported and that he wouldn't bother me. And I told him that, listen, your truth is your truth. It's not my place to tell your truth. I'm not seeking to look for your wife and talk to her about it. That's your thing, you know. But, you know, if you're going to be honest with yourself, it could be the best way of doing that is being honest with your wife. And he said you just have so much to lose. And, you know, of course, I'm saying to him, like, well, you took the risk to lose it all by being with another man. And so if you thinking about risking it all, you took the sacrifice to risk that already. But it's his choice. How he handled that with his wife has nothing to do with me. I just wanted to free myself from him. We both set some rules, some boundaries. Don't bother me. I don't bother you. I'm going to block your number. I never existed. And of course he said, well, I can't say you don't exist, but that's how I want him to take it. That I don't exist. That was that. He hung up, I hung up, and that was that. So after the conversation, I start reflecting, you know, like, how did I get to this place? How did I not know the signs? And I just start reflecting on my decisions and how I handled that. No, I can't control his lies, no. But were there tell signs? Yeah, the beach house was definitely different. So I don't know. I trusted too fast. And I think doing that made me so vulnerable. I've always believed that we should go into a relationship with someone being as vulnerable as we can, but sometimes we can move too fast. And that's my lesson, is to take time to trust someone and allow them to build that trust with you through their actions. But just, it was confusing. You know, we are going to dinner together in public spaces. So it was very confusing. And we were going on some trips out of the state. So all of that just didn't give me the indicator that this man was married. I just don't think there was not enough clues for me to say he is married. And that's the part that I'm dealing with. Like, how did I not know that? So I think in one of the comments, someone said, oh, he must be experiencing that in this. I'm beginning to think so. But I'm going to trust his word that he's not going to bother me. If he do bother me, I'm not going to be able to notice anymore because he is blocked. But if he don't come to my house, I might run into him at the gym and it's just going to be a hello and go about my business. But I'm definitely going to change my time from 6 o'clock to whatever time I choose. So I wanted to give you guys just an update. I am extremely tired. I've had a day. But I want to tell you this before I leave. I own a business that we run, a bakery, and we are working with TikTok Shop coming up very soon. We're going to be selling some of our bundt cakes. So I'm going to talk about that on a later date when I actually have the products done. But we are going to be talking with TikTok representative tomorrow morning so we can promote our bundt cakes. There'll be 4 different flavors starting out, and then we will expand those flavors. So you guys, thank y'all so much for listening to my story time. If I have any updates, I will share it with you cousins. Thank y'all for supporting me. And then some of the encouragement. Oh, just forever grateful. You guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you soon.